Hey everybody, how are you on this very busy Thursday, May 28th? Quick reminder, tomorrow, 3 o'clock Eastern, Tanis Parento, the guest star on FBI Most
3
Wanted,
o'clock
and
Eastern.
let's not forget
Parento, the guest star
on Showtime.
FBI Most 3 o'clock.
And let's not forget Showtime's Billions. I repeat, FBI Most Wanted and Showtime's Billions tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Be my special guest. She hasn't been on in 5 years or since she appeared on House of Cards as Tammy, the Indian gaming waitress, in a famous scene with Michael Kelly's character, Doug Stamper. Really excited to have her back. Have a great talk and a great time. So tune in. And also at 1 o'clock and at 2 o'clock, we're going to talk about the Insight Terminal Solutions Oakland Bogan Oversized Terminal court win against the city of Oakland in the matter of the bulk terminal plan for Oakland. So busy Friday. But right now, we have before us the matter of the new NFL rules. And without any further ado, let's have a look at them right now, because here's what they look like. All right. These are the 2020 approved playing rules. This is the summary. And given the number of rules that was presented, these are the only ones that survived. It was quite literally survival of the fittest. So we've got, first of all, the first one by Philadelphia, 2. To amend Rule 15, Section 2, to make permanent the expansion of automatic replay reviews to include scoring plays and turnovers negated by a foul, and any successful or unsuccessful try attempt. That was the first one that was approved. The second that was presented by the Philadelphia Eagles. The next one was presented by the competition committee. Expands defenseless player protection to a kickoff or punt returner who is in possession of the ball, but who has not had time to avoid or ward off the impending contact of an opponent. So you get the ball, but you don't have time to go, whoa, all right, you get clocked. Does that mean that means you're defenseless, right? That's interesting, all right? I have to read the fine print on that one, and we have that. Then there's, by the competition committee again, it prevents teams from manipulating the game clock. This is the, I call it the anti-Belichick rule. This prevents teams from manipulating the game clock by committing multiple dead fouls while the clock is running. That's the anti-Belichick rule, because remember, Belichick did that twice to Adam Gase last year, and I think maybe he was trying to goose with the whole thing anyway. And so as a result, basically said, hey, you know what? Maybe we should look into fixing the situation, you know, because Bill's trying to tell us something, and I'm certain Bill did tell them something behind the scenes, talking about New England Patriots head coach Bill Belichick. So here we are. You can't do that anymore, Coach. But let's take a more of a look at these rules that were presented before us, because it's a bit of a head scratcher that the one that I just announced got, handled the way that it did, I guess, was what I'm trying to say. That was a little weird. So what's happening with that? Why is it that would come? What's the rationale in approving that? I mean, that's the question that I have. What is it that they're thinking when that kind of convoluted rule is brought down to make permanent the expansion? Let's read this again. Okay, let's read this again. Have a look. Okay, let's read this again. To make permanent the expansion of automatic replay reviews to include scoring plays and turnovers negated by a foul and any successful or unsuccessful try attempt. All right. What is all that about? Let's give it another look. Let's see if we can dig into the brain, if you will, of the NFL, if that is possible to do, and figure out, what the league was thinking in that. Okay, so we go back to the original list, and we go back to the PDF, and we go back and we go down, and we say, okay, we'll present what we're going to do. Basically, is we are going to go back and we are going to get the other version of this, not that one. What we're going to do is we're going to get the one that came from. Okay, so what we're going to do, folks, is this: we're going to go and get the original PDF document right now and pull that up and see if it helps us, get to a better understanding. And wouldn't you know, here it is. Okay, so let's scroll through it, folks, and have a look real quick at that rule, or somebody might say that goofy blank rule, right? And get a little bit deeper into the head of what was happening. Here it is. Okay, this is the longer version. You see that? This is the longer version. Replay official requests for review. Only the replay official or the senior vice president of officiating or his or her designee may initiate a review of a play. All right. And it says, all right, so that's what is there now. Okay. And it says such plays may be reviewed. This is the new part is this in underline. See that underline? All right. Such plays may be reviewed regardless of whether a foul is committed on the play that, if accepted, would negate the on-field ruling. Again, such plays may be reviewed regardless of whether a foul is committed. Hey, pass interference on the play that, if accepted, would negate the on-field ruling. That's wild. So you can go back and review the play. But it begs the question, if they say the foul was committed, right? So basically the foul was committed, okay, and it would negate the ruling. Let's say, all right, here is, how would that work? All right. Such plays may be reviewed regardless of where the foul is committed on the play that, if accepted, would negate the on-field ruling. In other words, if there was when the official rules interception by an opponent, all right, let's say there's an interception, all right, and so there's a personal foul that's committed, or there's a personal foul that's committed. Let's say it's an interception, it's roughing the passer, all right. So you get the interception, roughing the passer. So normally, if you get roughing the passer, and there's an interception, that negates the roughing the passer. Because then it's not something that the offense would essentially have to pay for, right? But in this instance, what they're saying is, okay, we'll review it, and if it's roughing the passer, then ostensibly, and I'd like to talk to the league about this for further clarification, but that means that then, hey, the yardage loss on the roughing the passer call would be applied, all right, would be applied to, in other words, the penalty will be applied to the opposing team's offense since they got the interception. See what I'm getting at? Like that, okay? Okay, so yeah, I have to ask the league about that. That's my interpretation, but I need a definitive person. And I got to reach out to Rich McKay. That's it. That's just it. All right. So that's the one that was, advanced. Then we have the other one, which is, how did it go? Yes. Expands defensive player protection to a kickoff or punt returner who is in possession of the ball, but who has not had time to avoid or ward off the impending contact of an opponent. All right. So that one also has its own longer explanation, and that was submitted by the competition committee. And it is 8. So we scroll down, scroll down, scroll down, way down, and a little further down. This is further down than I thought. All right, so hold on a second. Boop, boop, boo. 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 Boop, boo, 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 boo. Yeah, okay. There he is. Player, this is the longer version, all right? Player in a defensive posture. And basically, okay, you can see where the underline is. It's number 6. A kickoff or punt returner attempting to kick in the air who has not had time to clearly become a runner. A kickoff or punt returner attempting to field a kick in the air who has not had time to clearly become a runner. If the player is capable of avoiding or warding off the impending contact of an opponent, he is no longer a defensive player, a defenseless player. Ah, okay. See, that sounds different than expands defenseless player protection to a kickoff or punt returner who is in possession of the ball, but who has not had time to avoid or ward off the impending contact of an opponent. All right, that sounds like, hey, if you can get rid of them, right? If you can ward off the impending contact, and you have time to do it, and yet you still get hit, then you are, protected. That's the way I read it, right? This is saying the different part. It's saying, okay, a kickoff or punt returner attempting to field a kick in the air who has not had time to clearly become a runner. If the player is capable of avoiding or warding off the impending contact of an opponent, he's not defenseless. That makes sense. So, you know what? We were handed an incorrect dealie here, okay? Because the penalty is unnecessary roughness, loss of 15 yards, and automatic first down. The player may be disqualified if the action is judged by the official to be flagrant. Gotcha. Okay. Loss of 15 yards and automatic first down, because then it goes on. It's a player on the ground, prohibited contact. It's a new part of the existing set of rules, right? So, having said that and seeing that fine print in black, let's go back to the number 2 and see if that rather confusing edition had its own. It did not. See, there's nothing down there. It just says competitive equity. Wait a minute, that's repay official. Where is number 2 article? See, that was confusing. Starting the game clock. No. Wait a second. Here we go. It's 3-2. Yeah, there it is. That's it. Successful try attempt. And number Philadelphia is number 3. And number 2 is Philadelphia. Right. Okay. So we scroll down here and we get 5. No, wait. We get 3 and we get 2. Philadelphia. All right. Such a play would be reviewed. Okay. But it just says makes permanent. So it doesn't clarify the whole interception issue. So that's not there. All right. So just making sure that's not there. All right. Fine. Now finally, by competition committee, and this one purports to, as it goes, if we think about it, then the one that was of the ones that were accepted, okay, this one prevents teams from manipulating the game clock, the Belichick one, all right? So I want to see the fine print for that one. Ooh, the Belichick rule. That's the Belichick rule. So let's go back and have a look at the Belichick rule. That is, what is that? Number 9 by the competition committee. And that's what I call it the Belichick rule. So we go down here. And let's see here. The Belichick rule. That's 8. And then there is 9. scrimmage down. Following any timeout, the game clock shall be started on a scrimmage down when the ball is next snapped, except in the following situations. And it lists them. Then it adds number 3. The offense commits a dead ball foul during the fourth quarter or overtime that is accepted. Okay? The effect prevents teams from manipulating the game clock by committing multiple dead ball fouls while the clock is running. Okay? So that's the Belichick rule. That's the Belichick rule. All right? That is the Belichick rule. And you may be wondering, in case you don't say, what's a dead ball foul? Okay, a dead ball foul is any penalty that is called or assessed after the whistle has blown to declare the play dead. Dead ball fouls are assessed from the end of the play rather than from the previous line of scrimmage or the spot of the foul. All right, and it basically are considered the easiest to avoid and the biggest game changers if they don't take place during the action on the field. And most dead ball fouls are, heat of the moment penalties that occur during a reaction to other events near the whistle. And so most dead ball fouls fall into unsportsmanlike conduct or unnecessary roughness categories. And both of those 15 yards from the end of the play, right? Okay. But those are, for the most part, dead ball fouls. And it's and so basically Bill Belichick was using that to drain time off the clock. All right. And that's why I said it's the Belichick rule. So it's not, you can't do that anymore. All right. And what Belichick did in particular, that he was just kind of, fritzing and fretzing, as I say. He was fritzing and fretzing for the against screwing around with. Okay, he was screwing around with the Adam Gase and the Jets, just holding on to the ball, just kind of giving them a little like kind of a onesie, and all right, and then of course Mike Vrabel used it to beat the Patriots as well in the playoff game, and so there's been a lot of playing around with the clock with these things, all right, and in particular between Bill Belichick and anybody that happened to be coaching against him, all right. It's funny stuff, okay, and so basically, Mike Vrabel against the Titans used the strategy to take 109 seconds off the clock using dead ball foul strategy, okay, and thereby before the Patriots could get the ball back, okay. So and so Belichick says that's probably a rule, a loophole that will be closed and probability and probably should be closed. But right now it's open. It was just the way the rules are set up. And so, but here's the thing. Then Bill himself used it to make a point against Gase, right? And he kept laughing about it. It was on Monday Night Football. He kept laughing about it, okay? So, oh boy. Funny stuff, okay? It was absolutely hilarious. But I'm surprised they pointed, to Vrabel and not to Belichick doing it to Gase. And then CBS says, thanks to a loophole in the rule book, if the clock is already running, it will continue to run after a penalty as long as there's more than 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Time rules undergo a slight change late in the fourth quarter while the clock's stopping, and all penalties once they're under 5 minutes left in the game. Okay? After using the same maneuver, finally somebody mentions the Jets. After using the same maneuver with false starts in a 33-0 win over the Jets, Belichick appeared to be drawing attention to a rule flaw. Oh, that's hilarious. That is absolutely hilarious, okay? And what happened was that the example that I gave you talked about a dead ball foul, but it didn't have to be that. It could be, before the ball was put in play, right? You can have a dead ball foul and you get an lineman going offside. And that's what happened in Belichick's case. This lineman just kept going offside. That's a dead ball foul. False start, right? A false start. That's a dead ball foul. That's what he kept doing, okay? It was just you could tell he was just trying to goose Gase. And it was strategically smart. He was running out the clock because, look, the Jets weren't going to win, all right? But hey, Rocky Mountain, how you doing? But you could tell he was trying to goose Gase, and I wish I could find that just for grins before he close out and play that, because it was a funny moment. Let me put it that way. It was a hilariously funny moment. And so what I'm going to do is write, let's see here, Belichick, NY Jets, deliberate fouls. Let's see if I do that one, okay? And I believe, yes. And here it was October 21st of last year, and it was characterized as Belichick trolling. I'm going to put it up here. Trolling the Jets, okay? And because that's exactly what it was doing. It was a total troll job. No question about it. Complete troll job. I loved it. Every second of it. Here it is. And Bill's laughing about it, all right? Here it is, folks. Watch this and chuckle at your delight. Here, and there's no sound, all right? But here is, all right, watch this. Watch what happens. Rather than the Patriots punting, okay? Because they're getting ready to punt, right? Foul, okay? It's a foul here, all right? And he's like, okay, so watch it. He's like, Bill is like, oh, hey, there's the foul. He knows it's a foul. He's making the foul, all right? And look at he's trying not to laugh, all right? That's not pain. That's not like, bad prune juice or anything. He's quite literally, he's trying to look like he's upset, but in point of fact, he's not upset at all. He knows what he's doing, okay? Look at him, all right? So they get the foul, okay? And here it is again. Now watch carefully, all right? Watch carefully what happens, all right? And you can just, hey, man, if you get there's another move. See that? You see with 43, he just moved a little bit, all right? He moved, okay? All right, but that wasn't enough. So he moved again. He wasn't set. So guess what? He moves, okay? There you go. Okay? This Bill was telling his players to do this, all right? They weren't goofing around. Well, they were, but it was an instructed goof around, all right? So he just throws the flag out there. They're all laughing. Look, they know they're screwing with him. And he's like, hey, what are you doing here? What are you doing that? Yeah, you're doing that, huh? Yeah, huh? All right. This is so funny. I mean, it was just that was just totally hilarious, right? Okay. And he's like, and Adam's like, what the heck, man? Well, why are you doing this to me, man? All right. Look at that face. Look at him, okay? Like he's good, right? And see, Adam is consistently turning the penalty down. All right. Because he doesn't want to get into the situation of taking the penalty, okay? And if you take the penalty, what happens? If you take the penalty, then what happens is that you basically start losing. You lose clock. You have to take the penalty, okay? And if you take the penalty, the down turns over, right? He still has the ball. He's not punting. It's hilarious, okay? And because he just loses yardage, right? He's still holding on to the thing, all right? And he knows it. He knows it. Look at him. He's yucking it up. Look at him. he's like totally yucking it up. This is what happens when you know the rules so well that you transcend the rules, right? He's yucking it up. That's what Bill Walsh used to talk about. That's when you know a person knows football. And he's yucking it up because he knows that he's got Adam. Okay, look. This is a split. I couldn't have asked anything better. This is a split screen. Look at this. Look at this split screen, folks. This is hilarious. All right. Look at, yeah, they were up 33-0. Yeah, it's Raiders SP says Belichick for you. Exactly. You have 33-0, and look, it's hilarious, okay? And so all of this started that rules change, okay? All of this. And he's getting a kick out of it, all right? And then, all right, so finally, after all this, he's like, okay, I think we ran the clock down enough, and so now we'll kick it. Oh, that was one of the highlights of last year. That was hilarious. Well, unfortunately, we're not going to see any fun like that. Maybe we will. See, now you know what? I'm gonna comb through the rules to find out if there are any little like loopholes like that where you can actually get this strategic advantage, make Adam Gase look like he's about to lose his lunch, that sort of thing. Oh boy, that was hilarious. Okay. So, all right. So there's that. So now let's turn to the bylaws. Now we've had fun there, and we'll close this puppy. And yeah, so we've got what next here? We had the Dealy Dolly. Oh, let me go back and get the remove that from the stream, then go back and add the original one. Yeah. So we've got there we go. Approve the rules and bylaws. No, that's not what I want. Okay, I'm gonna have to do this another way. Wait a second. I have to do this another way. Hold on a second. Don't want that, but I do want that. Boom. Okay. Do I want that one or do I want this one? No. I want this one first. And what I'm doing, folks, is I'm going back to where we were. All right. Boom. Okay. So we want that. All right. So now we get rid of this. And I'll get rid of I'll go and get this. No. Get that. There it is. It's not giving me what I want. All right. Give me what I want. Doggone it. Give me what I want. Give me what I want. Yes, that's what I want. That's what I want. That's what and I will allow it. And here we go. Allowed, and voila. Back to the close-up. All right. The approved bylaws, well, there's only one. By league office, increase the number of players that may be designated for return from 2 to 3. Incorporates interpretations applicable to bye weeks during the regular season and postseason. All right. So how does that actually work out in practice? It's a very good question. And if we go back here to our dilly-dally, right? And we go by, that's approved by the league office, okay? So if we can scroll down here, at Philadelphia 3, article, nope. Bylaw. There. Okay. Increases the number of players that may be designated for return from 2 to 3, incorporates interpretations applicable to bye weeks during the regular season and postseason. That's it. It doesn't. Bylaw proposal number 1. Bylaw. Yeah, here it is. Okay. It governs reserve and the injured players, designated free activation from reserve injured and non-reserve football injury illness. So basically, you can add one more player. Cool. It's for greater flexibility, greater roster flexibility. So that's the idea. All right. So Raiders SP going out says, that's why I can't stand the Patriots, but I hated them since the Tuck rule on my birthday. Happy birthday to you. I'm sorry you had to go through that. But then he says, but the Tuck rule, I blame on the refs and the NFL back then. I agree with you. All right, folks, that closes out a fun broadcast. I have one more stream. I'm going to talk about the real facts regarding the virus and Las Vegas Stadium. So I'll be back in a second. Subscribe to Zenny62 on YouTube. I'll see you.